For 1.5 billion years, life on Earth stood still in an evolutionary rut. The planet was ruled entirely by single-celled bacteria that remained microscopic and structurally simple. Why did they not evolve into complex creatures? The answer is not that Darwinian evolution paused, but rather that these cells hit a hard physical wall of energy. A strict energy budget trapped these simple cells in a bioenergetic cage. To escape, life had to perform a biological miracle, a single chance merger between two ancient microbes. What you are about to learn is how this one event broke the laws of cellular scaling and created everything from redwood trees to human beings. In this video, we will explore the fundamental divide between prokaryotes, which are simple cells without a nucleus, and eukaryotes, which are complex cells containing a nucleus. This structural difference changes everything. We will reveal why bacteria are physically barred from ever-growing brains, and how the origin of mitochondria, the powerhouses of our cells, unlocked an energetic gold rush. By the end, you will understand the deep physics of cell size, the bizarre origin of your own cells, and how a microscopic merger billions of years ago paved the way for all complex life on Earth. To understand why bacteria cannot grow to the size of a cat, we must look at the geometry of cell scaling. Every cell generates energy by pumping protons across its outer plasma membrane, which is the boundary layer separating the cell's interior from its surroundings. This process is called chemiosmosis, which is the movement of chemical ions across a membrane to generate cellular fuel. But as a cell grows, its volume increases as the cube of its radius, while its surface area only increases as the square. If a bacterium simply swells in size, its volume quickly demands more energy than its surface area can produce. SA divided by V equals 3 divided by R, where SA equals surface area, V equals volume, and R equals the radius of a spherical cell. This shows that the surface area to volume ratio decreases as the cell gets larger, leaving less membrane area to produce energy for the cell's volume. Think of a cell like a house that gets all its heat from solar panels on its roof. If you double the house's dimensions, you get 8 times more space to heat, but your roof area only increases by 4 times. Eventually, the house gets too big to keep warm. Around 1.5 billion years ago, a single, improbable event broke this geometric deadlock. An Archaean, which is a type of ancient, single-celled microbe, engulfed a bacterium but kept it alive. Scientists call this arrangement endosymbiosis, which is an evolutionary process where one organism lives permanently inside another to benefit both. The engulfed bacterium slowly evolved, shedding most of its genes to become the mitochondrion, which is a specialized internal compartment that generates energy. This was a sudden, massive shortcut that bypassed billions of years of trial-and-error evolution. This endosymbiotic event was so rare that scientific evidence suggests it happened only once in the history of life. Every plant, animal, fungus, and protist alive today can trace its ancestry back to this single, microscopic handshake. By bringing its power plants inside, the host cell completely decoupled its energy production from its outer surface area. The new eukaryotic cell could pack thousands of mitochondria inside its cytoplasm, which is the jelly-like fluid filling the cell. Each mitochondrion contains folded internal membranes, drastically increasing the area available for energy production. This allowed eukaryotes to grow 10 to 100 times larger than prokaryotes. Because mitochondria kept their own tiny, specialized genomes right at the site of energy production, they could respond instantly to local power needs. This allowed the main eukaryotic cell to maintain a massive nuclear genome without running out of power. Here is how these two structural designs compare side by side. According to Campbell Biology and research from Lane and Martin in 2010, a comparison of these two cell designs shows a massive scale difference. Prokaryotes are extremely small, averaging 0.1 to 5.0 micrometers, and arose approximately 3.5 billion years ago. Eukaryotes are 10 to 100 times larger, measuring 10 to 100 micrometers, and emerged much later, about 1.5 to 1.8 billion years ago. Structurally, prokaryotes lack a nucleus, have circular DNA, contain no membrane-bound organelles, and rely on smaller 70S ribosomes. Eukaryotes possess a membrane-enclosed nucleus, multiple linear chromosomes, complex organelles like mitochondria, and larger 80S ribosomes. While giant bacteria can grow to a visible size, they must keep tens of thousands of copies of their entire genome spread throughout their body to survive. Eukaryotes concentrate their main genetic library in a single nucleus, leaving the energetic heavy lifting to mitochondria. With a massive energy surplus, the eukaryotic cell could finally afford the high cost of evolutionary innovation. Scientists estimate that a eukaryotic cell has up to 200,000 times more energy available per gene than a prokaryote. This energy surplus paid for the nucleus, which is the membrane-enclosed organelle that protects the cell's genetic material. It also funded active transport systems, a dynamic cytoskeleton, which is the internal network of protein filaments that gives a cell its shape, and multicellularity, which is the state of being composed of many specialized cells. Imagine a small shop owner who spends every penny just to keep the lights on. They can never expand. That is a bacterium. Eukaryotes are like a corporation with a massive energy grid that can build new departments and complex infrastructure. The difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is the reason we are here. Without that accidental merger 1.5 billion years ago, Earth would still be a quiet planet of bacterial slime. The next time you look at a tree, an animal, or your own reflection, remember that you are looking at a walking monument to a microscopic alliance. That ancient partnership broke the laws of cell size and changed the trajectory of our planet forever.